So here is the build order for 2 range archers. I said that I was going to do a follow-up to the scouts build that I did the other day with Portuguese, and here it is. This is going to be 2 range archers as fast as possible, so we're going to get fletching timing, and you pretty much go across the map with like 4 archers if you're up against another like archer opening, so like men-at-arms archers, dress flush, and you want to go across the map with maybe like 6 or 8 archers if you're up against scouts so that you don't get overwhelmed. And yeah, so the start of this build is pretty similar here. Let's just get into it and we'll go through it there. I'll put everything up on screen for the YouTube video. Okay. So since it's similar to the scouts build, if you learn how to do the scouts build, then you will have a much easier time learning how to do this 2 range archers build, because the first 10 villagers are pretty much exactly the same. So the scouts build being a lot easier, probably worth it to learn before learning this build. But yeah, so normally you'd want to be taking just 2 sheep, or no, 3 sheep with this when you have boars, but since we have rhino, like elephant rhino, because it's this kind of this terrain, then we can take the elephant rhino after only 2 sheep. So it's kind of 2 variations. It's more of that you need to send your villagers to wood after the boars are finished. And by taking 2 sheep and then 2 boars, the timing in which they finish is around when you click up to the next age. So yeah, it just works out really well. So what we want to do is we want to send this villager out here, and kind of like at about the same time, you can send a villager out to bring in the rhino. Again, you would be taking a 3rd sheep if you just had boars, but since we have rhino, they have an extra 60 food each on them. We are able to take this one after just the 2nd sheep. So here we go. Shoot that once, shoot it twice, and bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so just like in the scouts build, we want to go for 4 on sheep. Or no, 4 on berries. The other word. Alright, so 4 on berries. And once we're at 4 on berries, then we do the straggler thing. So this is already kind of optimized for getting the lumber camp out. So next villager just goes to straggler. And then the villager after that is going to go for the lumber camp. Well, the house in the lumber camp, I should say. So you do have to watch the rhino here, because you're not sending a specific villager to go bring it in. It's more of when it gets down to a certain level, then you bring it in. So once the rhino's at about a 130, that's when I'm going to want to bring the other one in. So you want to be thinking of kind of how you'll wall the map eventually. So I'm going to get a house here, because we're going to wall towards this lumber camp, or at least that's how I would do it in an actual game. So right about here, we want to be bringing in this boar, or rhino, whatever it's called. And then the next build goes down here. So this is where the build actually diverges a little bit. So instead of having just 3 on the wood, we're actually going to have 4 on wood. So this next one also goes to wood, and right here we can transfer this fill, and then we make the lumber camp. So that's good. Yeah, the scout can just do whatever for now, because we already have all the resources. And now we're just loading up the boar, just like in the other build. But since we're clicking up a little bit later, we're going to have a little bit of extra resources. So you could say that the Dark Age is maybe a little easier for this build just because you are clicking up later, but there are more steps to it once you get to the end of Dark Age. So it does get a little bit tricky here. So since we're going up on 19 villagers or 20 pop, we don't really have to worry too much about getting that next house because we don't need it yet. It's really all about balancing the economy as soon as you click up. That's the key here. So you'll see once we get to that point. There's not really a ton to do in terms of like eco management here, so we're just chilling. These last 2 villagers can go directly to the wood line, so you want to be making a 2nd lumber camp here, and that is gonna have. Here, let me recheck my notes here. That is going to have. I think I sent. Yeah, 4. So right as it says here, 8 on 2 lumber camps, 4 on one, 4 on the other. Then we want to have 3 on gold. And then we want to have 4 vills just on the straggler trees. So you'll see in a sec here. So here, let's hide that. There we go. I didn't review the notes enough before doing this, but that's okay. So we're going to send 4 out there. 1, 2, 3, and the rest here. And see, we have lots to click up. So we don't take any of these sheep, actually. We don't take any of them on the way up. So look at that. So we go here. These sheep are just chilling. You hope that your opponent doesn't find them. And the next step is at about 20% here. We can send a villager from, like, one of these villagers underneath. Okay, if it allows me to build a house and then the barracks. So if you start this house at around 40%, then it will complete around 60%, and then you get the barracks directly after, and then it will come up just as you come up. So this is the timing. Like, if you send a vill from the TC at around 20%, it seems to work. Depends on how far you're sending them, but, you know, it is just about perfect. So you'll see this house comes up. We'll be at, like, 56%. We want to be close to 60. It works out really well. So the goal here is to have 350 wood once we're up. And it's because we want to be making 2 ranges right away. So yeah, we want to have a second villager out on the front. So we'll get this guy to go out here. There we go. This vill will build 1, this vill will build the other, and then they'll both transfer to gold once they're ready here. So as you can see, we have the perfect amount of resources for that. So as soon as you go up, these villagers need to go to the sheep. And we skip double bit axe with this for a little while because we want to be able to get fletching a little earlier. You could get double bit axe, but then it's going to delay your fletching timing, which is no bueno. So you also need to be getting a house with a different villager. So when these are up, you want to be using this right away. So the goal with food income here is 4 on the berries and then 5 on the sheep. So you want to get up to 5 on food total. This guy is here so that he can make the blacksmith. And we'll just put these in here for now. We can make a couple more of those. And then we want to get another house with another vill that's at the wood line. So look, we're at 9 on food. Next vill goes to gold. And we want to get up to 6 on gold. So with the Portuguese cheaper archers, we are able to do 6 on the gold only. So there we go. That's up. And this is your timing. So 4 fletching archers. So we can go across the map. This is like if you're up against Drush or Men-at-Arms into archers, you're going to have more archers than the opponent. So at this point, what we're doing is we are just adding in farms. We're adding in double bit axe. We can get all that stuff. Now it's just like feudal macroing. It's actually a lot more difficult to do playing archers compared to playing scouts. So like, man, even here it's like we don't want to get housed, but it looks like we're going to get slightly housed here. You have to manage going forward and all that. So yeah, we'll be slightly housed on this, but whatever. You kind of get the idea here. Oh, we're auto-killing this guy. So you want to keep the archers running because you want to be snowballing the military. So this is not as economically focused. It's more of militarily focused. So you really want to just have, yeah, constant archers and, oh man, try not to forget houses like I keep doing. That's gonna be fine, I think. No, it's gonna be housed on the vill again. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Anyways, do it kind of like that, and then, you know, you snowball your advantage here. At some point, like, if you can't do any more damage with the military, like say that your opponent's all walled up, you can cancel these, and then what you do is you get all the vills on gold that you can, and your goal here is to buy up. So we will just play until we can go up here. We'll just get one more house. We're probably not going to need it. You could wall up your base as well, however you need, but optimally, like, you'd be pressuring with your army and, like, actually doing stuff. If your opponent has stuff, you could bring it back. So, you know, I'll bring my army back here. And the next part of the plan is to go for a crossbowman attack. So we can get the market here. And once the market's done, we should be just about able to click up. Oh, I clicked the wrong bill there. So we want to be able to go up pretty darn quick here. We do want to be adding more farms. Like, we kind of want to go up to like 10 farms. This is still a little bit early in the feudal age to actually be going up. But we're going to be working towards going up here. Now, in an actual game, yeah, you might be making even more than 10 archers. But it really depends on when you want to stop archer production. Because once you stop archer production, then you can work towards going up a lot faster. Because those things do cost quite a bit of resources. So, I mean, if you're up against skirmishers, you might be better off even adding a stable, start going for scouts. Because one of the great things with this is to go for knights follow-up. So we're going to get one more villager here. And, I mean, 34 or 35 vills, no wheel is still a very fast uptime for how much you're going to get done here. So, here we go. And, you know, if you have to, you can sell the stone. It's not really the biggest deal. We buy that. We sell some wood. We go up. Beautiful. A little bit of idle time never hurt anybody. So there we go. And now we're going up. So if the plan is to continue on archers, we would continue to make archers here. Or if your opponent is going skirmishers, this is where you'd start adding in, you'd add in a stable and you'd start going knights. So, oh, we got a stuck vill here. Anyways, that was not very well walled. So you could easily, here, we'll just cancel that. As long as you have like 2 stables on up, it's fine. Like 15 on gold is actually just too much. We can buy some stuff for that. So like we could buy wood. We could have bought a bit more wood earlier, or like sold the wood instead of making the farm. But it really depends on how you want to play it. Like the more farms you get, the better, the more smooth your food income is going to be. But if you buy up, you can go up a little bit faster. So you generally are going to want to hit that crossbowman timing here. So, you know, maybe not a second stable if you're up this early, but if you're up a little bit later, like more like 40 villagers, then you can probably get the second stable. Really depends on exactly when you go up. Now, since I'm up so fast, we definitely want to hit a crossbowman time. We don't want to go straight into knights because we're not going to have any upgrades. But we will be going knights as well. So we can even get horse collar. Like any of these straggler tree vills could add in some farms because that's going to be the follow-up eventually. Horse collar comes in a bit faster with a civ, so we can just, you know, get it and then get the farms right away. No problem. And yeah, we should be able to just buy a little bit of food. Buy a little bit of food. We can go for crossbowman, bodkin arrow, start the knights transition, and we even have enough to make another TC. So we did sell some of the stone, but you know, you probably want to secure some gold. So if we have a gold and wood TC like this, is pretty good. And right here, like we can make 1 TC villager and 1 stable knights because we have 12 on food. It's perfect. Now we're hitting a crossbowman timing. Opponent is dying. And then, meanwhile, as he adds in siege or adds in skirmishers, we already have the follow-up unit that kills that, which is the knights. So we don't have any upgrades on them yet, but their base stats are pretty good. So we can easily just add them in. And yeah, I mean, now it's just a big what if. Like, it all depends on what the opponent is doing from here. So yeah, that is basically how you do the 2-range archer opening. What we're going to do next is just real quick take a look at a game that I played yesterday with it, and it went pretty well. So, spoiler alert, I do end up winning this game with the build, and that's the whole point of showcasing it here. So, here we go. There we go. So, after that. So, this was one of the boar maps, so I will take 3 llamas instead of just 2, because we have less food in that, so you'll see. So, we'll speed through it here. Okay. So we'll go 6 on sheep. Next 4 to berries. We'll take 3 of these things and then bring in the boar. So this is a little bit later timing than what I showcased because, of course, it has the less food. And next villager is going to go out to the berries. Now next vill is going to go to straggler tree. Here we go. Next vill goes to build the house and then the lumber camp. House, lumber camp. Next vill goes to wood. Next 2 vills go to wood, I should say. That one, and then the next one. We're bringing in the other boar on time, just to hit this timing at the same time. There we go. I kind of made this guy go back a little bit. I was scouting, and now we have a little bit of banter. I was I was scouting his wood line anyways. Okay, so now what we're doing is just loading up the boar here. Going max on boar until the last two villagers right here go directly to the second wood line. So we get that second wood line. He was blocking my foundation there. And then we have 4 on this wood line, 4 on this wood line, 3 to gold. The rest, these 4 on straggler trees, 4 on berries. So you get to that eco balance specifically. And then at 20%, we send the house. I think I was a little late on the house, but anyways, it doesn't matter. I end up getting the ranges on time here, I think. Here we go. We will slow it down right here. So 1, 2 ranges down. Beautiful. Perfect. Next up, these 2 vills need to go to llama, which I do right here. So I right click the TC to drop, and then I shift Q to the llama, so they drop the wood and then go directly to the llama. I was gonna get double bid backs, but then I was like, oh wait, that's what I would normally do. This build isn't normal. So I know you kind of need to save that food for fletching. And it's completely worth delaying double bid axe for fletching, because fletching allows you to just kill vills. So what's the point in making your economy good if you can just make your opponent's economy bad? So the scouts build is all about making your economy good. The archers build is all about making your opponent's economy bad. So different play style. So yeah, we just try and keep the ranges going. We want to get to our 6 on gold. And yeah, so we only have 9 on food. I need to get 1 more on food, which is, I think, what I do probably with this next villager. Oh, I had the rally point in there, but yeah, there we go. 9 on food. So now at this point, once the blacksmith is up, we will be able to afford fletching instantly. So what Biscuit did here, he went just 1 range, fletching archers. But look, he has 1 range. He has less archers. The barracks or blacksmith is coming up at about the same time, but I have double the units here. So, like, he gets horse collar, he gets double bid axe. Yeah, he has ecotex, but I'm about to have fletching archers coming to his base. So here we go. From this point, I got really sloppy with spending wood. So you'll see. Once I start microing, definitely needed to spend the wood a bit better. Now, I didn't know where his army was, so I kept some reinforcements just kind of back here. But once I see his army here, then I start moving these forward. So, well, I think I micro this fight, and then I bring my reinforcements forward. Because, you know, if you don't know where your opponent's army is, sometimes you want to defend places that are a little bit weak. I didn't want to have them all the way out here so they would get picked off, but just, like, on this side so I can react. So, as soon as I knew his army was here, we go move out with the reinforcements. And so we micro this. I know that the skirmishers, they didn't have armor, at least at the start of the fight. So, you know, they have it now, but... we have the Scout Cav here. Scout Cav is just doing major damage to the skirms. Very important to keep this guy alive. So, yeah, we take the hill, and we take him off of berries here, which is very, very strong. And this is where my wood spending part of my macro kind of failed. Like, as you can see, we have all these idle vills. That should never happen, but that's just me being a little bit bad here. Oh, we got a raid from Daniela. Hey. So, yeah. See how I got double bid axe now. We don't have horse collar, but look at all the pressure that I'm able to apply just by being up a little bit faster, having constant archer production, or at least you try to have constant archer production. Got the scout alive to kill skirms, and, you know, he has armor here now, but I still have the scout. We pick off his spear, and now he has to run with these, and it's like, look at how much damage the scout is doing. He's just killing everything, and at this point, he deletes his TC, and he knows it's over. Just too much damage with this. So this is how this build is supposed to go. You're supposed to just do a bunch of damage to your opponent early without too much regard for your economy. And now, I was going pretty fast here. Normally, my APM's closer to 60, but yeah, you do have to jump back and forth, do lots of microing, but it's pretty solid. Yeah, so that's basically it for this build. That's how you do it. I might do a Men-at-Arms Archer build with Portuguese just to kind of complete all of the common builds, but yeah, anyways,